objectives, we have two. So at the end of this module, the student should be able to, number one, identify the different phases of cell cycle and their control points. Number two, we have describe the events happening in the different phases of the cell cycle. So before we formally start with our main lesson, let's first have a cell trivia. So we have here an adult has approximately 60 trillion cells. Because as we grow older, the number of cellular units that we have are also increasing. And we have here, each of your eyes has 125 million light-sensitive cells that are connected to 1 million nerve cells. And also we have, when you donate blood, you give up 5.4 billion cells. Next one, we have a square centimeter of your skin is made up of 155,000 cells. And lastly, we have there are 30 billion cells in your brain. That is for the cell trivia for today. So why do cells divide? Para saan ba ang cellular division? So it is very essential for our growth. So you started as a fetus and then right now you are a teenager. We are already an adult. So we have there the cellular division. And also we have the repair. So when we say repair, it replaces the old cells. And also it is very essential in repairing the wounded cells. And also cellular division has something to do with the reproduction, sexual reproduction, para makapag-produce ulit ng another generation. Next one, we have, ayan, just like what I've mentioned a while ago, kapag nasugat tayo, nagkakaroon po ng cell division. Okay, so gumagaling yung sugat natin, nagkakaroon siya ng block, yung parang kigang. And also, we have sa stem, so, or sa plant. Siguro napapansin natin na kapag pinutol natin yung, or nagtanggal tayo ng talbos ng kamote, and then after a few weeks or days, meron ulit maha-harvest na talbos ng kamote. So that has something to do with the cellular division. It replaces the wounded one or repairs the wounded cells. Next one, we have getting ready to split. So just like when you are going to school or going somewhere, for sure you are getting ready. Nagpa-prepare tayo ng isusuot, nagpa-prepare tayo ng ano ba dapat nating isuot sa okasyon na yun. So ganoon din sa cell cycle. Okay, so cell cycle has two parts. We have the growth and preparation, which is the interphase, and we have the cell division. So the cell division has subcomponents. We have the mitosis, or the nuclear division, or the karyokinesis. We also have the cytokinesis, which is the division of cytoplasm. So what is a cell cycle? So the cell cycle is an ordered series of events involving cell growth and also cell division that produces two new daughter cells. So every cycle, merong napoproduce na daughter cells, which is two. That is for the cell cycle. Next one, let's first talk about the interphase and the checkpoints. So this occurs between divisions. May mga checkpoint in every division, and also the interphase is the longest part of the cycle. Kasi na dito nangyayari yung mga checkpoints. So the interphase will determine if the cell will go through the mitosis or magkakaroon ba siya ng division or not. Sila yung magsasabi nun. And it has 3 stages. We have the gap 1, we have the synthesis or the S phase, and we have the G2 or the gap 2. Meron din tayong gap 0 wherein doon na nagsustop yung cellular division if hindi nila na-met lahat ng kailangan sa each stages. So let's first talk about the interphase or the longest phase. So we have here the G1 or the gap 1. So the cells just finish dividing. So in gap 1, the cell is recovering from mitosis. So sa gap 1, dito nangyayari yung protein synthesis, and also the organelles are also produced, and the increase in volume of the cytoplasm. So ibig sabihin, lumalaki yung volume ng cytoplasm sa gap 1 or sa G1. Next one, we have the S, or the synthesis stage. It is where the DNA replicates. So, replicate or replication, it means copying. Kinokopyan nila yung DNA. Okay? That is for the S stage. Next one, we have the G2 or the GAP2. So, this is the preparation for mitosis. Ibig sabihin, mas maraming growth ang nangyayari dito. Kasi it will undergo the mitotic phase. And also, this is where the organelles are replicated. And again, increase in volume of the cytoplasm. And if hindi nila na-met yung desired conditions dito sa GAP2, mapupunta yung cell sa GAP0. So, dun na masasabi na hindi na siya pwedeng tumuloy sa mitotic phase or sa mitosis. So, parang kapag you are in the road and you are in a border, tapos may checkpoint. So, for example, hindi renewed yung license mo. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka makakapasok sa border. So, yung hindi mo pagpasok sa border, sa cellular division, ang tawag doon is the GAP0. Okay? That is where it tells you that you need to stop the division. That is GAP0. So, if you pass the GAP2, you will now proceed to the mitosis. So, the cellular division has two types. We have the mitosis and meiosis. But for today, we will just be talking about the mitosis first. So, in mitosis, it is where the organisms grow by the addition of cells. So, gaya na nabanggit ko kanina, as we grow older, the number of cellular units are also increasing. So, in multicellular organisms like us, some of these cells perform functions different from the other cells. So, maraming functions ang cells natin sa katawan. Next one, we have, the mitosis ulit. So, it is part of the cellular division which results in two identical cells from a parent cell. Ibig sabihin, parehas na parehas sila ng mapaproduce. So, we have the mitosis and the nuclear division. Karyokinesis is also known as the nuclear division. And then cytokinesis, it is the division of the cytoplasm. So let's first talk about yung phases of mitosis. We have the interphase, which is already discussed. It is the longest phase. It is where the GAP1 synthesis and then the GAP2 and also GAP0 nandito rin sa interphase. So ang tatandaan na lang natin dito is the word PMAT. P stands for Prophase, M stands for Metaphase, A is for Anaphase, T is for Telophase, and then the last one we have the cytokinesis, which is the division of the cytoplasm. So let's first talk about the Prophase. So in Prophase, it is where the chromosomes appear. Actually, para siyang chromatins pa dito. And also, nawawala dito yung chromatins. And also, centrioles separate from spindle form. This is our centriole, and ito yung spindle fibers. Okay? And also, in this prophase, the nuclear envelope disappears. So, just like what we have here. Ayan, yung nuclear envelope ay nawawala. And prophase is also the longest phase in mitosis. Again, the prophase is the longest phase in mitosis. Next one, we have here a photo of prophase in plant and also in animal cell. Next one, we have the metaphase. It is where the cell prepares chromosomes for division. So, ang palatandaan na lang natin dito, metaphase, M stands for middle. Kasi yung chromosome ay naka-align sa metaphase plate. So, yung metaphase plate natin, ito yung matatagpuan natin sa equator. Itong nasa gitna. Okay? So, chromosomes line up at the middle of the cell. And then, the spindle fibers are attached to the chromosomes at the centromere. Ito yung centromere na sa gitna. And ito yung spindle fibers. Ito yung centrioles natin sa taas. And it is the shortest phase of mitosis. Next one, we have the chromosome. So, ito yung itsura ng chromosome. So, I know you are already familiar with this one. So, it has the P arm, the Q arm, and also we have the telomere, yung end ng chromosome, and yung centromere, ito yung nasa gitna. So, the chromosome is an organized pack of DNA. DNA stands for the oxyribonucleic acid that is found in the nucleus of the cell. So here's the metaphase in plant and also in animal cell. Under microscope na po ito. Next one, we have the anaphase. It is where the centromeres divide. So ang tandaan na lang natin dito, A stands for apart or away. Kasi naghihiwalay po dito yung chromosomes. So the spindle fiber pulls the one set of chromosomes to each pole. Ayan, hinihila ng spindle fiber yung mga chromosomes. And also, precise alignment is critical to the division. Next one, we have, ayan, anaphase in a microscope. And another example of anaphase under a microscope. Next one, we have the telophase and then the cytokinesis. So, ang nangyayari dito sa telophase in an animal cell, the DNA uncoils and the chromatids appears once again. Ayan. And also, it has two nuclei form. 1, 2. May dalawang nucleus. And also, the cell membrane pinches in to form the two node daughter cells. Ayan. And also, we have here the cleavage furrow. Ito yung cleavage furrow po natin. Ito. Okay, para siyang pinagdudugtong na 0 or para siyang number 8. And in plant cell, ayun din, the DNA uncoils and also the chromatin appears once again. And it has two nuclei and then, syempre sa plant cell, meron po tayong bagong cell wall. And, ayan, meron din siyang Golgi vesicles. Next one, ayan, ito po ulit yung telophase and cytokinesis ng plant and animal cells. So, sa cytokinesis, naghiwalay na yung dalawa. Ayan, and then it will produce two identical daughter cells. So, ayan, this is under the microscope, the telophase and the cytokinesis under a microscope. So, that's it for this lesson and I hope you've learned a lot. If you have any questions, you can just reach out your respective subject teachers during their class hours. Thank you very much for listening and have a nice day.